Hey humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, I do videos on creepy and disturbing things. So if that's also your thing, consider subscribing. Okay, so the last 2 days, I totally binged this show on Netflix called Eris. It's been buzzing around quite a bit as the show that has one of the most disturbing final episodes in all of TV history. And I've also read some headlines about how some people can't even finish it at all because it's so disturbing to watch. Well, I just finished it this morning and I am here to help you decide if you should go ahead and watch it or not. In this video, I will not be spoiling any major plot points. However, I will be divulging what happens in some of the more graphic scenes throughout the show, so you can make an educated decision on whether it's the show for you. So the show follows a medical student named Rosa. She's introduced to this secret society fraternity thing, and she decides that not only does she want to join, but she also wants to climb up the ranks of the hierarchy that exists within its walls. Except her and her best friend Jakob, who also is in the society with her, find out that they are hiding a pretty dark secret. Personally, it took me until episode 3 to fully commit to watching the whole show, and there's only 8 episodes. But at episode 3 is where I really couldn't look away, and it was such a metaphorical train wreck that I just had to see what happens. If you are an English speaker who also does not need captions, I would highly recommend just using the English dubs and turn off the captions altogether. I found that having the English dubs and the captions on, they didn't match or sync together, and it was just way less confusing and way less frustrating to turn the captions off altogether and just use the English dubs and listen to it that way. A lot of people were complaining about this and said this is why they couldn't finish watching the show, and I think that's what they were doing and why it was so frustrating. So if you're having that problem, try that. So the ending of the show definitely didn't disappoint. Unlike shows like American Horror Story, for example, that just saturates your TV screen with image after image of violent thing, a lot of it just for shock value that doesn't actually add anything substantial to the storyline. Eris, on the other hand, only adds disturbing scenes when the plot warrants them, and there's an actual purpose for each and every disturbing thing that happens. I found all these scenes, even though they were extremely gruesome, they were also really well done. So that's kind of the show in a nutshell, and now let's talk about some of the more disturbing things that you're gonna see. This show has a lot of death, suicide, and vomiting. For death, there's a few times that you're gonna see somebody kill someone else extremely graphically. Like a lot of other TV shows and movies that pan away from the victim as they're being killed and then they only show you the outcome, this show pretty much shows you a play-by-play, doesn't pan away, it's the whole kit and caboodle. There's graphic suicide scenes, including seeing some hangings as well as people dying from sharp objects. There's a few disturbing eye scenes. People that are eye people will know what I'm talking about. And then there's the vomit. And the vomiting itself isn't really disturbing, it's more that the character shows them gagging themselves, trying to vomit first, or other characters gagging them, and they just show a lot of really uncomfortable gagging and attempting to throw up. It's just kind of upsetting. The vomiting part is also gross, but that part I had the most trouble with, so if that's also one of your triggers, you may want to close your eyes at those parts or don't watch this show altogether. One of the most disturbing images that people talk about is in the final episode when somebody cuts the majority of their face off, and we actually see them do it, and we see them peel their face off, and we see the whole thing. That kind of thing really skeeves you out. Yeah. Just overall, this show is not going to be for everyone. I think there's scary things, and that's usually paranormal ghost movies or slasher films, and then there's disturbing, and disturbing is more that really uncomfortable, graphic, gruesome kind of thing, and more realistic generally. However, overall, I found that this show had a really great payoff in the end, and you will not understand the message of the show or why it even exists until the very final moments, and then it kind of all makes sense. And it was after those final moments that even more the gratuitous scenes throughout the show were completely necessary, in my opinion, and were all warranted. Overall, I would say if you do like disturbing things and creepy things, then you should definitely give this show a shot. And like I said, give it a few episodes. I almost put it down in the first and second episode, and it really took me till episode 3 to really get grasped into the story. So I would give it a chance. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Let me know if you've seen this show down below, or if you're planning on watching it after watching this video. Throw it a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.